Hello and welcome in. I'm 2 minutes early, but I need to, I'm in an event today. My name is Tammy Neff. You're on my page called Tammy Loves Vintage. I always hate the very beginnings. So weird. I'm Tammy Neff. You're on my page called Tammy Loves Vintage, and I'm going to be shared over into a private group called the Sparkle Room, and it's a big room, and you're all welcome because there's lots of room in that room, and it's an all-day event, and there's some like all-star creators, and so I'm super excited. I'm number 2 up, and I'm just looking at my clock. I have another minute to go. So hey you guys, hey Elizabeth, hi, welcome, come on in. Hey Tracy, thank you guys for joining me. Hi Kathy. Okay, we're ready to go. There's Kathy. So I think Grace must just be wrapping up. Hey Penny, Claudia, hi you guys, yay, familiar faces, I always love that. Hi Sheila. So Kathy's going to be sharing me over into the Sparkle Room for the Spring Fever featuring Reba Rose event. So Reba Rose is a creator of papers, rice papers, and she does gorgeous papers. And I have, papers from all of the people, but I had never gotten any from Reba Rose. And I'll show you all. We only have 45 minutes today for our event, which is going to be plenty of time for me. But so I may not show you all of the things, but it was tough picking my I'm just going to show you what the heck. We still got a little bit. So this is the one I chose. I chose it immediately. It had a vintage feel, but yet it had some sparkle, and I thought this would be a really fun one to make over. So she sent a digital version, and I printed the digital version on my cardstock, cream colored, and I want you to see the difference. So if you buy the digital version or the other, they're both great. I noticed the digital was a teeny bit smaller, but that could have been my printer. It could be all me. I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, they're very close, very good. So you can order digital as well as the actual rice paper. So these are called rice paper. So I went ahead and ordered some when I was on. I ordered this one. Let's see if I can get you down here. I don't want to waste a ton of time because I got a thing to build. This was another favorite. It's really different for me for vintage, but yet it's got it's just screaming vintage, and it's got bottles, and I could see myself doing this one. So this was my my second pick. Absolutely loved her. Loved her. Love this because I've got some old hats that I found with the purple, and I love this one too. I just want you guys to see all of the ones. These were the ones that I ordered from her. Love this. Like I was in love with all of them. I messaged her and said, if anyone wants the one I have and that's the only one they want, I'll move over. It's fine. And then I picked this one up for Halloween. I loved it. And then I picked up 5 pages of blanks so that I believe you can just print your image and make your own. I don't know anything about this stuff, but I'm trying it. So, hey Jackie, hope you're feeling okay. So this is the one we're going to be messing with today. And then I want to tell you too, if you saw any of the papers that I just shared and you're like, oh, I'm going to check them out, the link is in the description. When we're all done here, you can click on the title of my post and there's a coupon code, and it's all capital letters, Spring Fling 20, no spaces. Okay, Spring Fling 20. So let's get started. I can't believe I couldn't believe it, but I couldn't believe it. Grace used books. She used an old book. And I thought when I came up with my bright idea, I thought everyone's going to be doing signs and trays and whatever. I'm going to do a book. Nobody will do a book. So, of course Grace would do a book, but that's her thing. Of course she would do a book. But anyway, I'm doing, mine's a little different, but I'm doing books. So I used a black fabric, just a black thin like sheet material. And then I cut up a bedspread, okay? And my idea was, because you can see the black, like see how well the black goes with that. So, but yet I liked the cream color was more me than the black. So I picked this because it has lots of holes in it, and I thought I could incorporate the two together. So that's just what I did. I cut out a shape And I'll explain this. This is what it looks like. This is what my shape looked like. Okay, and I went ahead, I did some prep work this morning, and I'm glad I did because it took me 35 minutes to do this part. So we wouldn't have had any time to do our book. But anyway, this is where the book binding lays, right? And then this is the front of the book and the back of the book. So this gives you your little flap to fold inside of the book and your little flap to fold inside, you know, each of the ways. So anyway, this is how the books turned out, and it's exactly what I wanted. And I think that looks great. See that? So I covered this whole book, and I mean, the inside's messy. I'm not a book creator dealer. I think if you were going to do this, like have a booth of making books, I think you need to get yourself a good pattern and make every cut the same, and then adjust it for the sizes of your books. But it's just me, it's fine. So I just kind of made sure it wrapped. So I have this one ready to go. And then I did this one, except I chopped it. I chopped it here so that I would have the whole face, the top, the cover of the book to adhere my paper to, right? Okay, so everybody with me? I did it. Hey, Justin. Hey, Grace. Hi, Grace. Hey, Debbie. And there's Sandy. Hi, you guys. Hey, Lindy's here. Hi, Carol. So that's where we are. That's all I did without you was do the old school how to cover a book with the old shopping bag. Remember, we used to do that with brown bags. But I used fabric instead. I was a little concerned about my corners, but then I realized it doesn't matter because I can either Sharpie marker it black if it needs to be, or I can paint it cream if it needs to be. But honestly, when it covers, it was fine. And this is going to cover this, so it's fine. So this was an old encyclopedia, Craft Child How and Why Library. It was just an old encyclopedia. And I painted the pages a long time ago to do a project. And I think if I have time, I'm going to add some gold to the pages so they don't all open completely. But instead of using Mod Podge, I'm going to use a spray adhesive. So I've got my board here to cover. And I have, who was it? Jackie. One of you girls are like, you shouldn't be breathing that stuff. So I'm at least going to stand up a little bit away. And I'm going to use Super 77 is my spray adhesive of choice. You can type the word spray and I'll send you a link. I don't know how to link. I don't know how to do the exclamation point thing, you guys. So sorry. So I'm going to do spray adhesive instead of Mod Podge, and let's see what happens. If I ruin it, we'll change gears and we'll do another paper because it's been a long time since I've done it this way. But I was thinking I wouldn't have any wrinkles in going over fabric. I feel better using the spray adhesive. So I'm going to I cut the edge off of this paper already. Are you guys down enough that you can see? There you go. So I cut the edges off and I cut my corners so when I fold it in, I won't have a big buckle. I'm going to glue this down. My bedspread's kind of flapping here a little bit. Okay, so we're going to put this down. Yeah, can you believe we both did a book? And it's perfectly smooth. Absolutely nothing. And it's not just, you can do this. Like I've done spray adhesive on bottles and all kinds of projects. It's a great way to adhere. And it's not like, see, I'm pulling on the paper. It's down really well. Okay, now let's cut our corners. And you know what? If you guys are interested in the Reba Rose papers that I chose, if you put just put Reba Rose numbers, maybe something like that in a comment, we're leaving for a memorial service when I'm done here. So I'll do it later today. We'll probably go see the grandbaby and stuff, run some errands today. So I'll do it later, but I'll be sure to give you guys the exact numbers of the pages that I chose, because I can tell you it's very overwhelming, all of the papers that she's got. She's got so many, and it was so fun to shop them and see. So, okay, what I'm doing here is the binding part, let's see if you can see, has where it's got that little dip, you know, where the pages are grabbed, it wouldn't fold. I needed to bring it back a little bit. So when I opened my book, let's see if I can show you this way. When I open my book, I have just a little bit hanging here. So I'm going to trim that off. I wasn't accounting for that. So I'm going to trim it a little bit short so it'll wrap up in my book. Okay. All right. And then I've already got my corners cut here. So I go in on the top and bottom with my paper. And at this point, if I didn't get enough of the spray adhesive on the sides, you can tack it down with a little bit of hot glue or whatever glue you like, sticky tack or tacky glue or whatever you like, tacky glue. But that feels pretty good. So look, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Look, I wouldn't even have to do anything, but I am. But wait, I am. So, okay, this is the bottom book then. And this is the top book. I'll make sure I got it right side up. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Okay, so I'm making like a little stack, like a stack of books, okay? So now what I need to do, this isn't a bad edge. I thought this would be really awful, but it's not terrible. But I've got some ideas on how to fix it. I'm going to move this just completely out of the way. We don't really need the second book. I just kind of like the height. An encyclopedia book like this is not very thick, so it wouldn't give you much height in a vignette. So I found some of this lace. Now you're just gonna have to look through your lace. Let's see, I already cut a piece. Here we go. And see what matches your coloring. This is a very peachy pink. You'll find if you order this exact one. You'll find that it's a very peachy pink. So I had a pink and I tea stained it to try and give it a little bit more antique-y look, but it's definitely a pink compared to like, here's some white flowers. You can see it's like a peachy. It's perfect. It's perfect. Whatever you want to call it, it's perfect. So I'm going to go right on the very edge. I'm not going to lay it on the top and I'm not going to lay it here. I'm going to put it right on that corner. That way I'm helping to seal my, my paper and my fabric. Okay. So I'm going to go, let's see, do I want to leave a little bit to fold in? And where's it? This is the top. I'm going to leave a little bit that I'm going to leave a little bit more. I might need to fold that in and hide it. And if not, I can snip it off. Okay. It's easier to have too much than not enough. Okay. So then let's go a little bit farther here. Actually, I think I can just go all the way. I think I can. Here we go. There we go. Oh yeah, I left plenty. I wasn't sure how much extra I left. I left plenty. Okay. So now let's decide if I want to tuck that in or just cut it. You know what? I'm just going to cut it. I think it's fine to just cut it. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut this side. I've got enough with the thicker bedspread underneath that it's not wanting to close super great. See that? It's so thick. So let's just do that. So there is the side now. And then my plan was, what else I wanted to do, when I put these two together, I have, like I love to buy old hats. The girls in my group, they know this. And they have great millinery flowers on hats that are a little bit cheaper than when you buy, sometimes not. But when you buy them on Etsy or whatever, you know, the little bundles of millinery flowers can get expensive. And so this hat had some flowers that kind of matched. So I pulled this out to play with. And then off of that hat, let's see, I have a couple more here just to show you. Like this has velvet leaves on it, and then this little bit of netting. We could stick some netting in there or whatever. But the old hats are great to mess around with. Here's another one. You can see I've already cut off some stuff off of that one. But off of one of these hats, there was this bow, and the bow is a perfect match. So what I thought I would like to do, now I have the, let's see, where is it? I knew I would lose that piece. Oh, here it is. I have this extra piece that came off, popped off separately. It goes down here. I'm not sure we're going to need it, so I didn't mess with hooking it back up. But as you deconstruct your hat, you know, I just need to see what's going to happen here, because I think I'm going to lose this piece if I take this off, or when I take this off. There we go. Let me take my cutters. Let's see. The hats, just FYI, I don't go over $20 for a hat. I never have spent more than 20. I don't know that I've ever found one under 8 that I've loved. But I never go over $20. And on Etsy, they can be $40 to $60, some of them. So you're best to find them at Goodwill or out in the wild, you know, out shopping. We call it the wild. Yeah, okay. So then it's got some of that knitting stuff hanging still. All right, so I cleaned that off, and I think I'm going to glue this down where it wants to be, you know, where it was made to be. So let's do that, make sure that stays. And then I'm going to go ahead and deconstruct this part because it's a little bit thick. I don't want all that thickness hanging off of my book. And I got to tell you, the first cut hurts when you are, it doesn't hurt physically, but it hurts mentally because you're like, oh, I paid, you know, $20 for this hat. I can't believe I'm going to cut it up. But the treasures that you get as you deconstruct is worth it. So just do it. Just don't look, do it. If you absolutely love it, put it aside and look at it for a year or two, and then you'll be ready to cut it up. That's what happens with me. I'm always like, oh, I might find something. I want the whole thing. And then I never do. Let's see. Whoops, I lost a piece there. I'm just trying to get this. See, this is what I should have done without you guys. I didn't realize that was sticking out so far when I chopped it. There we go. I'm in now. Okay. This is a critical piece for my project. So, okay. So this, oh yeah, it went right here. Okay, I see. And that's probably the up. So let me tack this back on. I'm going to use hot glue. Hot glue holds like really good, and it holds really fast, like right now. I don't have to wait. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay. So here's how the bow came off of the hat, pretty much. And so I'm going to add the bow here somewhere. I think I'm going to go underneath this, but I want to tuck it up tight. And I can't see. Let's see here. Just get rid of this one again. I'm going to tuck it up tight. Actually, I think I'm just going to start in the middle. I'm just going to put a bunch of glue on here. Because if you ever tried to get fabric, hot glue unattached from fabric, you can't. Once it grabs, it's very hard to pop hot glue off of fabric. So, I don't know. I might be making some of you cringe doing this. I hope not. I hope you see the beauty in the end. They make beautiful hats, you guys. If you ever were going to go to a party and it was a vintage party, you're going to wear a pretty, pretty hat. These hats, they're not great for that, you know. I think they would be crafting. Or if someone had a collection of hats, I could see them putting the collection in, you know, on display. But I don't think that's the case here with these that I'm using. So, okay, this is, let's see how they're laying. This one's going up a little bit more. So let me see if I can, my glue's hot enough to push that up a little bit. And then this one's kind of, oh yeah, because I tacked it down. Okay, so I'm like, this one's flopping. Why is this one flopping? All right, so let's tack it down just a little bit. Try and make it somewhat even. I want that to hang down. So something like that. Okay. So then there's what our book stack's going to look like from the side, okay? And then I think I'm just going to leave these hanging. I think that maybe I'll spray them and see if I can't, you know, push it, maybe weaken them a little bit. I thought about cutting, do I want to leave them? I don't know, they're kind of big. I thought about cutting the dovetails. I love the bottom ones, but the top ones are kind of big. Do I dare? Do I dare? Do I? What do I do? I don't know. I hope you guys, I have a bad guy that comes on here sometimes. Oh my gosh, 240. Oh my gosh, I wish I wouldn't have seen that number. Now I'm nervous. Now do I cut it with all these people watching me? I think I do. I don't like it hanging out. See, I got all this hanging. Yeah, I don't know if he's here, and that's why I'm not looking at comments, because when he's here, he comes on, he says terrible things, and then he deletes it real fast so you can't report him. He's been very faithful to me, unfortunately. Let me get my good scissors here. Unfortunately, he's been, hanging around. He won't seem to go away. So hopefully you guys aren't seeing him. I'm praying not. Oh, I'm so glad I did that. Looky, look. Look. So glad I did that. That's much better than that. Yay. Okay, let me clip up this other side real fast, and then I'll turn it back around for you guys to see. So how did I do that? I need them to match. Okay, so let's see here. They come in. I don't know if you guys can see or not. I'm trying to get it. Let's see here. I'm going to come in and in. Let's see if my ends meet. Of course they don't. Okay, so let's bring this one in a little bit more until it meets. Come on, there's a lot of layers here. There we go. Okay, oh, I'm so glad I did that. I'm going to leave the bottom ones hang. I don't mind the bottom ones so much. And then I have this extra piece. I don't know where that came from or why. But yay. Okay, and then if we have time, I didn't grab a bunch of jewels. I just have a crown here, so I want to put it on the bird. But I could put a jewel, but I don't think I'm not. I know we're in the sparkle room, and I do have some bling, but I might not be quite, we'll see. I mean, I do. Sometimes I surprise myself with the bling. So, okay. So our books are still separate. And I'm wondering, see how I kind of have some dead space here? I think what I'm going to do is add another sliver of this stuff, this ribbon. So hang on. Let me get that on there real quick. Okay. And then we're just going to take our time that we have left and decorate our book. And that's the fun part and the creative part to me. This is all kind of mechanics, really. Once at least the covering part isn't that much fun. But this next part to me is where you can really have some fun. But I think there was some good ideas here with the double layer of the covering and making the black show through to work with the paper. I think that is really a good combo. So, okay, so now let's see what we got. I didn't really fluff it or do anything. But yes, that totally filled in our space now. That's better. Just a little bit more fluff. You can't ever have too much fluff. For sure. So, all right, I'm going to get rid of this underneath one, and I'm going to leave it right side up for you guys so you guys can see, and let's do something fun. Like have a sip of coffee. Okay. So, oh, I laid this out. This was a great match. I forgot I was going to do this. I was thinking about doing this over here, but I kind of like that. And I could do this. Oh, I might do that. I could do this like all the way around. Oh, I think I will. I'm going to do this inside. Look at that, because that's so pretty. I forgot I laid this out. Yay. Nice surprise. We're all surprised. Okay. So let me run a bead of hot glue along this white line of that paper. That was pretty sweet. And I'm going to put the stitching here, so that gives me, I know I'm straight. And then I'm going to take my scissors. Do I need to? Whatever this must have been a pillow. Actually, yeah, it's too big. Okay, I was going to say, it's already got the corner rounded and everything for me, but I could bend it back a little bit. this side to bend it back. I'm going to use the corners that were made. It's not a handkerchief for sure. It's not a handkerchief, but it's got, the corners of it fell, so I don't have to mess with mitering and all that, which if you do, I'll show you real quick what I do. What I do is I run, how can I explain this? Hang on a minute. I know I can explain it somehow. I mean, I know I can explain it, but I want to explain it so you understand. So if this didn't automatically turn, see how it wants to turn because it was a pillow or something? If it didn't turn, I would run this long strip out the width of another piece. Okay, I would run it all the way out. Like this, make it go out. And then overlap another piece overlapping the edge of this. So you've got 2 layers here on your corner. And then you're just gonna make a cut. You're gonna cut through both. It's called a sister cut. You're gonna cut through the top one and the bottom one. You're gonna remove the top hack out of this top triangle and this top triangle or bottom triangle. And then your 2 pieces will line up and you'll have a perfect corner. Okay, hopefully that worked. But in this case, since I've got a corner right here, I'm just going to kind of buckle it over. And there'll be a little jog in it, but it's fine. It'll be fine. There'll be so much happening here. Oh, I'm so grateful to Reba Rose for letting us do this. I think it's like the most fun idea. So I hope you guys do go shop the papers. And like I said, put down the word number or what's your numbers or something, and I will share with you the pages that I picked. Like I said, there's a whole bunch. And you know I'll be making something with all of my papers. So, so that's why I'm thinking ahead for you guys. I'm thinking ahead. Okay, so now here we have this little ruffle around the outside edge. All right, fabulous. Yay, great idea. I surprised myself. I laid this stuff out like a week and a half ago when they first invited me. I was all excited. I'm like, oh, I gotta get my stuff together. I gotta know if I need to go buy anything or whatever. I need to know what I'm doing. So now what I'm thinking about getting a little crazy here. I found this stick in the wild, in the actual wild. It looks like this, and it's got some things hanging off of it. I thought that was kind of cool. And then I found this one, which might be, it's got to go up, might actually be better for this project. And then why couldn't I snip the little, let's say, why couldn't I just snip the little tendrils off and use, they're just a little tall, but I like these curls. I like the curls on that one. But I like the thickness of this one. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to snap this off and just shorten it. It's way long. It's way, way long. And then I think we're going to tack this down onto the book, following kind of this line, and then shorten this up. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so let me get my glue on here. Putting that there, and then still be a fresh one. Okay, and then I'm going to see about maybe angling that a little bit, making that lay in there. Okay, it's hot, 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 hot. Okay, I'm not looking at comments. Like I said, if that creepy guy's here, I will mess up. You guys just, please ignore whatever he says. And no, I've been trying to get rid of him. I probably wouldn't have agreed to go into this show had I known he was going to do this. He's fairly new. He's probably been around, I don't know, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. Had I known he wasn't going to go away and I couldn't get rid of him. But, okay, I think that's enough. I'm just going to do the one. And then I laid out some, what is this, rabbit's ear. And because it's such a muted green, that was my best match for her greens on this. So, and they're too big. So I'm going to see about skinnying them up a little bit here, making them not quite so big. I think that would be better. And then let's attach, you guys, this is so out of my box, but how fun to do things that are different than what you normally do. I really thought this would be a cool thing to do something really different. And it's fun for me. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope I'm not chasing away all my regulars. And I sure hope that fella isn't here. I know a lot of my followers have tried to ban him, and he's just too fast. What got me the very first time he was on was I was reading comments, as we always do. Hello, hi, you know, thanks for joining, answering questions, and think, ooh, look at all those little ones. And I read what he said, or most of it, before I realized what was happening. And so then I was a mess, like trying to finish. So, yeah. But I also like to try and get my projects done. And I do come back. I promise you I will come back and answer and say hello. And so come back and check your comments. I hope you're all in the Sparkle Room. It is a free Facebook group. You can ask to join. Just go, you'll be like, well, how do you do that? When you look up the Sparkle Room, there's a little tab and it says, ask to join, and she'll let you right in. I'm sure they're watching closely today, and they'll let you in immediately, and you can see all of the other people rather than, I know I've posted a couple of times about the event and who all was here, but you don't know what time people are on. So that's the idea. You got to go to the Sparkle Room, and it's just a continuous thing. So if you're in the Sparkle Room and you're watching somebody and they're over and you're like, well, where's the next person? Why aren't they coming up? You have to pull down or refresh on your phone. It's a pull down. And then I had these little pods. So I was thinking about those. I have a couple little birds. Oh, I do want to get my bling on. Let's do that. We still have 15 minutes. We're in great shape. I wanted to add a crown to her. I think that's an awesome little idea. So the crown is going to touch on the corners here. This is not a vintage crown. This is a totally dazzled, I believe. Pretty sure. There we go. Okay, so I've got my little crown. And then I pulled some jewels that fit her, I'm not going to jewel her all out or anything. I don't think anyway. But I felt like a little something on her tail. And I had this vintage necklace that I've cut. You know, I have a bunch of them on my website, but this one I cut up already. You can see it's gone and the clasp is gone. And, you know, you take little blurbs here and there for projects. But this one I thought hung down so nicely for her tail. So I think I'm going to snip this. Again, another hard thing to do, cutting up your jewelry, especially when there's nothing wrong with it. But I love the vintage jewelry. You can see, let me show you the difference. Like the new jewelry is very bright silver and sparkly, and the crusty older jewelry is just a little more yellowed out, a little more dirty looking, I guess is what you would say. So I'm going to stick that tail right there. And again, let's see. Hot glue doesn't do well with metal though. Hot glue does not do well with metal. It doesn't want to stay. But if I do the B7000, it'll take too long. Let's do this. Let's do, I'm going to do B7000, which is just a bead, a jewelry glue. I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to do a little bit of hot glue on the sides to hold it, to be faster. So if you guys were doing this at home, you wouldn't need the hot glue. I'd just go in with that B7000. and put that on last and walk away. Walk away for a little while because it takes a minute to adhere. But yeah, I think that, yeah, I love it. And I'm not going to glue this part down. I want it to move. I want it to move and do whatever. All right. And then I have, you know, I have a little bit more if I wanted, but I don't, you know, I could follow all this, but I don't think I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to. I also brought out some, here, I like this better, but these little gems, and I wanted to pop a few on. I'm not sure, I don't want to waste our time doing that, but yet I think it's important to at least get a few on here. So let me find my tweezers here. We don't have a ton of time because we've got a lot of people going to be crafting today. So that was the idea, to get as many in as we could. Not we, but they, not me. It's not mine. Okay, that's probably enough. Just, oh, there's one more. I know, I want to do this one and this one. Just the bigger ones, I'm thinking. And then I've got these little iridescent, oh my gosh, I don't have my glasses. Huh, that's impossible without glasses. Oh, this might not have been a good idea. I need my pick it up stick. Where's my, here it is. Hang on. Oh, and I need my glasses. I can't see nothing. They're right here. Hang on. Just grab a pair. Oh, hello. Oh, okay, let me dump some of these out. There we go. Okay, so find one that's face up, stick it in the glue, and push it down. Pretty side up, stick it in the glue, push it down. So this is a totally dazzled kit, and it could be a heat kit. I'm not going to go into all of that. It's more about the paper than the accessories. But if you want to look it up, you can. I've got my link tree at the top, takes you to all of my links at the top of my page, not in the description. The description is about the Sparkle Room and about Reba Rose and about your discount, you guys getting your discount. So again, if you do go shop Reba Rose and you just want to look and you're like intrigued like I was and you decide to place an order, don't forget the all caps Spring Fling 20 is her code that she's giving us. And there's only, I think she said 24 hours. She just decided to do it last night. And I think she's giving you 24 hours. Okay, so don't wait. So don't wait. Okay, probably a few more I could put on there, but I want you to see. So some of that bling came to life subtly. See how it's still smooth. There you go. Just a few. I didn't put a whole lot. I didn't over bling, but just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, now to take you, okay, so if you all think like she's lost her mind, right? I'm not looking because I'm not looking. I did pull out, no, this isn't lose your mind-ish. Let's do this part because I know you'll be with me for this. I pulled some paper flowers. I pulled the hats in case I wanted them. And I wanted to show you that as an option for crafting, but I also pulled some paper flowers. These few paper flowers on my paint tray are really a great match as far as color goes for her paper. So I'm just going to antique just a bit. So let me hold this like way out of the way here. I don't want to turn them too dark. I just want them a little bit more vintage looking. So, and I need to get my lid on my glue here, you guys, real quick. Okay. So let's see about, so we added a little dimension to the bling. Now I want to add a little bit of dimension to the flowers, okay? And then I'll show you what okay, I've got a few minutes here. I'll show you why I said you guys might think I've lost my marbles. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. I'm not sure. I know this one. I'm not sure about that great big one. I know we'll do that one. I love this on that little rosebud. I'm fine with that. Okay. Maybe one up here in the corner. I don't like this great big one. I don't even need to ask you guys. I know what you're going to say. Heck no, right? Heck no. Maybe I just add it just where there isn't a flower, where it's just fine on its own, and let this flower be on its own. I actually, what I might do, I will probably not have enough time to do that, but what I was thinking I might do is, I've got everything here to do it, is take, well, I'll just show you, because I'm not sure I'm going to do it right now. I've got a long, skinny artist brush, just a long one, and I've got my Mod Podge here, and I was going to Mod Podge, once you get this wet, it'll make a pointy point, and I was going to Mod Podge like little lines and put just some clear, like diamond dust type of glitter for the sparkle room, was what I was thinking. So might do that. And then here is another thing. So my mom found this little nest in her birdhouse that didn't get used. It's a real, I mean, it didn't get, they left it. They flew the coop. And I made some little eggs that matched the paper out of paper mache. And I stuck a couple feathers in there. So, and this was, this is like a year or two old, okay? And I was thinking of maybe plopping the little nest here. So I think I'm just going to do it. I think I've thought and thought and thought about it. This is where I said you guys are going to be like, oh, she's lost her mind. But I don't think so. I think it's good. And then I'm going to put the little eggs. I'm just going to set them in here. Now, if I have to, I can add some aqua net or something to this nest to try and hold it together a bit. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this last egg because it's a pretty thin spot, and maybe that'll help hold it together as well. Do I want to add a branch now, or a piece of a branch maybe? Nah, I'm not going to mess with that. All of these things that I'm saying out loud are things that maybe, you know, maybe you guys can consider doing later if you get this. I haven't lost my mind. Yay! Hey, Shelly, hi! Hi, you guys. Thank you. So, and this green, I pulled these leaves, but it's okay because they're a little, have a little bit of break in them. But are they too green? Do I need back to this kind? I'm wondering. I don't know. But I do have this little butterfly. So for in honor of the sparkle room, I got my little bling in here. Yay! So I'm happy about that. The other thing I see as I'm looking at this, I still have a few minutes, but I just don't want to, you know, overdo my welcome, overstay my welcome. Yeah. Let's get that on here. A little butterfly can land in the nest and check the eggs out. What I'm seeing here is, what if I took, well, this chain isn't long enough and it's too bulky. Let's see what happens if I cut this bracelet apart. I was kind of thinking about, where's the end? There we go. Let's take this off of here. And I would have to add another piece or two to it, but I think I wouldn't mind that, or some pearls maybe running down this. Absolutely needs it. I'm going to do it. And I'll just do another section after, you know, after we're all done. I will post a video, not a video, I will post a picture here and in the sparkle room when I'm all done. I'm going to mess around with it a little bit more. We have a memorial service to go to as soon as I'm finished. We've got to run. So I will work on this when I get home and post it in the sparkle room later tonight. You girls that might be on later, I'm not going to be able to watch you for a little bit, but I will when I can. There's a little get together with the family afterwards. Oh, what if I just had a little idea. Wonder if I just stop it here and add some seam binding to pull the gold from the bird. I'm okay on time. Let's see if we add some stained up seam binding. It's my favorite ribbon. You guys that follow me know all about my seam binding. But if you don't know about seam binding, write that in the comment. Just put the word seam binding. How about that? And I finish it off with that. Then it's not like all bling. I don't want it to be too much. Okay, let's do that. and then maybe a button. Cynthia sent me some buttons from her mother's collection. Absolutely, like ones with strings, and she's like, I can't wait to see you use it in a project. And I told her I'm saving them all. This whole bag is bags from her mom of stringed buttons. And I love buttons with strings. And maybe just one button right here, because I've got the cream. I've got the cream from the crocheted Afghan or tablecloth, or what is it? Bedspread. Okay, let's do that to finish off that bow. Okay, now let's add our second books here. Oh, I know one more thing, and I don't have much time. I wanted to put a teeny dab of our moss. Love this moss. It's on my website, TammyLovesVintage.com. I wanted to add a little bit of moss in the nest, just a little bit, because the green is so bright, but the birds wouldn't know that, right? They're going to get whatever they can, but it's great moss. I'm going to add just a bit like that, just a little bit, just to soften all of the browns a little bit. There's that feather again. And then the other thing I wanted to do was this moss. Oh, I got 1 minute. And I was going to lay it here on the branch. I totally don't want those leaves just sitting there like that. So I was going to add a little bit of this kind of weathered moss that you get at Hobby Lobby. Just instead of flowers, I was thinking this moss would be good. So there we go. That's enough of it to give you guys an idea. I'm going to jazz it up a little bit more, work on it just a little bit more, but daggone, there you go. So it's the best moss, isn't it? Thank you, Chris. I'm so glad you like it. Hey, thank you for having me here. Chris and Kathy, both of you. You guys, I do encourage you to go join the Sparkle Room and watch everybody, because they're all going to do an awesome job. I guarantee it. You're going to love them all, and you're going to enjoy being in there for the future. So thank you, Reba Rose, for my paper. I absolutely love it. I hope you guys love how the books turned out. This is the, I wasn't sure everything was glued down, but this is what the black with the cream over top of it looks like. You almost can't see it. And I did not attach them so that if I want to, I could kind of set my book at an angle and you could see, you know, both of them, and maybe put a candlestick here in my vignette and all that. So I'll finish it up. It's just about done. And then we'll style it, and then I'll send a picture here on my page. If you're following me here, I would love you for doing that. Love you to share it, and also to the Sparkle Room. Have a great day. It's nice meeting all of you new folks, and I'll answer all your messages. Bye-bye.